Hello, everyone. I am back. Today I am with Sheena Wilson, and I'm so excited for the world to know you, Sheena, if they don't know you yet, to hear your beautiful voice. You've got your sweet smile on over there. You're such an incredible contributor to our community. I could never imagine anybody having anything bad to say about you. You're just so refreshing, so great to be around, and I can't wait for everybody to hear from you. So if this is somebody's first time landing on these videos, I am sitting down with some women from Platinum Experience, which is our 12-month mastermind, and I want to hear from them. I want you to share what is the business that you've been working on, and how can people work with you. Then we're going to talk about Sheena's experience inside of Platinum experience inside of Platinum. And then, so if you're watching this and you're like, okay, I don't know who Sheena is yet, but I want to start to follow along, don't worry. Towards the end of the conversation, Sheena's going to tell us all of the places and spaces that you can find her out on the World Wide Web, and everything will be linked in our show notes on YouTube, on the podcast, wherever you might find this. So let's bring it over to you, Sheena. Can you share a little bit about who you are and what is the business that you've been building out this past year?
Yes, thank you for asking. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about it. My name is Sheena Wilson, and my business is Strategic Learning Design. I'm an instructional designer by trade and by passion, I guess I would say. Early retiree from teaching in the public school system. And when I made the career change, I did a Master of Arts in Learning and Technology. And it was in 2010 that I actually discovered instructional design. I fell very much in love with it, close link to curriculum development that I was already quite comfortable with. I really love the opportunity to be creative in my work and to have varying projects. So I focused very much both in my studies and in the time in between in sinking my teeth into all of the instructional design models and really developing a strong appreciation for why we have them and how to use them and kind of mix and match. My business currently is geared towards supporting entrepreneurs primarily in the online space, but not totally limited to that, and really seeking to support folks who are passionate and wise and are taking what they know and creating online courses and programs that are either delivered entirely online or maybe a mix of online and face-to-face. I have a kind of a mission in that I know that there's a lot happening in the online space as far as training and opportunities for everyone to find a course on just about any topic. And I've been really challenged by that because so many of these programs don't necessarily come across as being the most learner-centered. Often they are tied up in a strong sales campaign, and the promises that come out of them can be a little bit wishy-washy. So I advocate on behalf of the learner, and I do so by supporting the course creators directly. I currently run two different programs. One is a very short, well, in my mind, it's short. It's an 8-day sprint. Material is covered over 8 sessions or 8 modules. And the output of that is to take folks who have an idea for a course and they're ready to go. They've got all these different ideas in mind, but they really aren't totally sure how to go about it, how to build a plan, how to structure their course. And they're not designers or instructional designers or teachers by trade themselves. And so they really don't have the background and the adult learning theory that really helps support and inform how to create meaningful, engaging training programs that produce long-lasting results for their clients and really affect significant change and benefit for their clients. So the 8-day sprint is a beautiful opportunity for folks to come together to bring their idea, sink into the material, engage with the questions that really, when answered, sketch out an entire instructional design plan for them. And so at the end of that program, they're all set to go off into the world and start investigating different course delivery platforms and start building. And for folks who are seeking a little bit more support even than that, I've got a second longer program, significantly longer actually. It lands between 10 and 12 weeks, depending on how much folks want to engage in the bonus modules. But with that one, it's beautiful because it's structured in such a way that folks who have much more than an idea, but a plan to a certain degree, even if it's an early draft plan, they can come in and show up every week for informational support to help inform their process as course designers, as well as access to spend time with me one-on-one directly, asking questions, moving through roadblocks, learning some of the ins and outs about how to foster engagement, encourage engagement, maybe develop some assessment activities and tools to help their learners measure their progress, and ultimately to help inform course creators about how to improve and refine their offerings as they move forward. It's really sweet. I enjoy offering a cohort model, particularly for the 12 weeks, because it is very interactive and it provides a space for people to come and work on their projects. Often, I know if people are like me, they take an online course, they have the best of intentions, but they move on to other priorities. Yeah, so those
Okay.
are the big ones.
You're such a wealth of knowledge when it comes to uh, truly that, like, structuring a course that has meaning and an outcome that students can actually reach and that facilitators can provide. I think, former teacher to former teacher, something that we probably see, and I mean, this is a whole other conversation, but a lot of this is happening of like, throw up a course with really no end in mind and put a price point on it for the creator to get rich fast, and then the student is left buying something that makes them feel maybe further behind, or that they've spent money on an investment and didn't get something out of. And can you speak to why, like, your intentional process is important to you, like, as opposed to, yeah, just go sign up and learn how to create a course on a YouTube channel and go do it and deliver it? Why is it important that people actually are putting thought into the outcome and the instructional design for you?
Again, thank you for asking. I feel like I could talk and talk and talk about this. My heart, honestly, as a professional, lies in customer service, and I am an avid learner, and I'm almost excruciatingly aware as an observer. And so for me, my heart immediately empathizes with the folks who are signing up and paying really good money for these courses. And people are really busy. And so it's not just the financial cost, but it's the time cost. And like you say, I appreciate you calling out the negative consequences as well, because for someone to engage in an online program and to ultimately feel like a failure in that is even worse than feeling like it was a waste of time, right? There are ripple effects to that.
Yeah.
And our role ultimately as teachers and wise guides are to empower and lift up our learners and other humans just in general. So for me, it's everything comes to heart-centered and learner-centered as far as design goes, because I want consumers to pay for a good quality product. And I want the creators and the owners of these products to feel a sense of pride and excitement in what they're delivering, and to really just pause a moment and take time to consider all of the different types of, I mean, you couldn't consider all of them, but the myriad perspectives and different human stories who are going to be coming and interacting with that product. So for me, it's about wanting to uplift and empower all of them so that the learning feels good. And when someone makes a choice to, I want to learn more about this, I want to grow in this area, that they're actually really genuinely supported in doing that.
Yes.
Right. I know for myself, I'm my challenge is learning to say no to all of the incredible offers that are available. And so I think part of this also comes down to helping learners be discerning about
Mhm.
about what they're buying and having a sense of what to look for in those products. And so when those two worlds meet, beautiful magic happens, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's just it. And you put such thoughtful consideration into it. And you did go to school to be a teacher and to do all of this extra layered learning, and you can save somebody the time. Somebody doesn't have to go take their B.Ed to create a course, but they can learn from somebody who is that deep in their learning, like yourself, how to do it just as well. So I think that that's really valuable. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing all that. I love that you've got these two offers right now, the 8-day sprint and then the longer time frame with people. And I think that gives people an opportunity to say, I'll check out what we can do in this 8-day sprint. And then, and then they can self-select when they want to go further. So I think that's really beautiful. I would love to hear a little bit now about your time and platinum experience. So you just are coming up on the end of year 1. And my first question is, what has been your favorite part of the experience?
Connecting and building relationships within the community. And I include both yourself and Kayla as very active members of the community, and not coaches who are over here, but rather in the thick of it with everyone. Having such a beautiful and rich monthly schedule for me has been a dream, and it's contributed to getting me to where I'm at now. It was a little bit of a funny year for me, and I feel like my progress has been a little bit slow, but what has been constant for me is the opportunity to show up and contribute and participate pretty well every single week.
Absolutely.
And it's just such a warm, fuzzy feeling for me, ultimately, having those spaces and covering different topics, right? Like offering different things each week. My favorite piece has been the Monday mindset call. For me, it's just been super, super valuable as someone who, can kind of show up in spaces bringing a little bit of low energy sometimes. It's been integral in helping me learn how to be aware and how to cultivate the energy that I do want to bring to spaces. And so having those Mondays once a month, and then having all of the other weeks to show up and practice that has been really, I'm struggling to find the right word for it, because valuable doesn't capture it. It just really doesn't. And having small pockets from that community to be in touch with every day.
Yes.
Like, even on the days where it can be a little bit tough to muster the energy and the oomph to move forward, checking in with our accountability group, sharing honestly how we're at, but still setting even sometimes just small bite-sized goals for the day or for the week, and then having cheerleaders there and feeling like we're genuinely friends, right? Just big smiles. So no words, but just big smiles to explain what that's like.
I love that so much. And you answered one of the questions that I've been asking everybody. I said, so, okay, we meet at different times throughout the weeks, right? Like we have different calls. We do a Q&A call. We do a mastermind call. We do a vortex call. We do a mindset call. And which one's your favorite? So I hear that it's the mindset. I love that. What would you say? I suppose my question is, has the ability to have daily support through WhatsApp with myself and Kayla been valuable to you? Because that's something that we only offer to Platinum. And we really love knowing that we can be just a text or a voice note away. Can you speak to your experience of having that? Yeah, having that.
First, yes, super valuable. And thank you for making that available to us. For myself, I spend a lot more time communicating with the smaller groups, and I save my really big questions or what feel like decision markers. I just have so much trust for the feedback that I'm going to receive from the two of you through WhatsApp. I know that there have been times where I've reached out just feeling like I need a little bit of extra support with whatever's going on, because you bring such a different perspective, a clear perspective, and in the entrepreneurial space, to my mind, an expert perspective. It
Thank
makes
you.
it really easy for me to remove roadblocks. So I'm not just sharing challenges with friends, but I'm receiving coaching on how to move through those challenges in ways that are aligned with me and my values and with what I'm trying to bring into the world.
I love that. Yeah. I think that, some people are quieter than others, and some people we hear from daily, and some people we hear from maybe biweekly. And the whole purpose is that knowing that if you need us, we're there on the other end. And we're not needed every day, and that's okay. And if we are, that's okay too. And we just want to be able to, yeah, provide whatever we can. And if we don't have the answers, then we'll do the best we can to go find them for you and for anybody else who's asking. So I appreciate you sharing that. My last question about platinum, and then I want to go back to how people can find you, how they can work with you, is if there was somebody on the fence, and maybe you were on the fence this time a year ago, whatever their thing is that's holding them back. Maybe it's the financial commitment. Maybe it's the time commitment. Maybe somebody's never committed to something for a year before. Maybe they're feeling not worthy of being a part of this group. Maybe they're like, oh, all these other women have it together and I don't. Could you speak to one of those or any of those that if somebody's on the fence for one of those reasons, what would you say to them?
Yeah. Oof. So many thoughts in response to all of that. From a little bit of a lighter note, I will say that in discussing plans with my family for 2024, we kind of laughed about how it sort of feels like grad school. Like, it's a 2-year
Yeah.
program, you're signing up. It just makes sense to complete the second year.
Mhm.
Um, it is a substantial investment. For me, it took me a little bit to wrap my brain around that because, truth be told, I brought a lot of mm, unworthiness baggage with me into
Mm.
the program, and that was a large part of my internal dialogue this time last year when I was trying to make up my mind. But for me, the bottom line came down to the fact that every single thing that I had done with my aligned purpose, it just felt like an easy sale to move on to the next one. It was an easy yes. And it was a little bit financially uncomfortable. And that just made me have to be more creative and look at my priorities in order to put myself in the position where I would genuinely be able to move forward on what felt like just kind of a big pipe dream, right? If I
Mm.
were to listen to all of the old messages, I felt that this was the right way to go and that there would be not just the community and coaches, but all of the tools that I would need to help me continue walking down that path. And so the progress from last year to this year, I mentioned that as far as my business offers, in some ways it feels a little bit slow, but as far as my personal growth
Mhm.
and journey as a human, I cannot even imagine what this year would have been like had I not been part of Platinum.
Mm.
And continuing in 2024, like a really good relationship, a true love, why would I stop now? Why would I stop now? And it just takes some planning and consideration and prioritization and, much gratitude for the blessings in my life that have brought me here and enable me to continue. There are a lot of things competing for our time and dollars. And
Mhm.
I can say wholeheartedly that I feel like I've received way more value than what I would have even initially expected from being part of Platinum. So
Mhm.
moving forward, it's like absolutely, I have to. I have to.
Mhm. Oh, I love that so much. And I'm so excited to have you back as an alumni. And, there's going to be so much like wisdom that you're going to be able to share with anybody who's new. Any fears they might have. It's like you're now the grade 4 to the grade 1, right? You don't have to know it all, but you've been around the block for a year, so you know some things. And I think that is always really fun too to see people like step into, hey, I've been there a year ago and I can actually help you. And it feels really profound and liberating. So I also can't wait to see that version of you unfold over the next year. It's going to be, yeah, really beautiful. Okay. Tell us, where can we send everyone? What's your Instagram? I hear you're hanging out on LinkedIn, maybe. Where are the places and spaces that people can find you?
First and foremost, I would invite folks to come check out my website. All of the links to all of the other bits and pieces are in there. I do have a presence under my name, Sheena Wilson, on LinkedIn, and strategic learning design is connected to that. On Instagram, strategic_learning_design is my handle there. And I also have a Facebook group, which
Mm.
a Facebook page. I'm dabbling a whole lot more in Instagram and LinkedIn these days than I am in Facebook, but I really want to make sure that folks can find me over there. And again, if you search for strategic learning design, it will probably bring it up for you.
Mm.
Um, and in all of these areas, I'm just trying to help shed a little bit of light on, some of the basics, some of the really easy strategies that we can use to get started. And always love hearing from folks if they have questions or want to connect regarding working together, either one-on-one for short sessions or maybe thinking about checking out one of the programs.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, I suggest anybody who's listening to this on the podcast or finds this on YouTube or wherever you might see this, if you're not following Sheena yet, go do that. Go say hello. Say, hey, I just saw this video. Loved your presence. Want to stay connected. And if you're looking to truly refine your course and have a course that has an outcome and an outcome that students can reach and an outcome that you can get students to, and it is designed in a way that meets learning needs, because we don't want to sign up to a course and not learn anything. Sheena is your woman. Go say hello to her. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Sheena, for taking the time today to be here with me. I so appreciate you, and cheers to another year.
Thanks, Nick. I'm excited.
Okay, thank you everybody for tuning in, and all the links to work with Sheena will be listed wherever you find this. Okay, bye.